Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because I'm going to be doing 3 looks with one palette with the Morphe Makin Bank palette, and I thought in the beginning I would just go ahead and give you guys my quick thoughts on this palette. So this is a really beautiful green color scheme with some pops of neutrals, and I was super drawn to this because it was only $18, and I have to say that I'm so happy that I decided to take the risk and buy it, because sometimes Morphe, I like what they do, sometimes I don't, but this palette is probably one of the best green palettes that you can get at an affordable price, and even just all around. I really love the matte shades. They're super pigmented. They are more soft, so there's a little bit of kickback in the pan, but intense pigmentation. And the shimmers are nice. They're a little bit more of like satins. They're not super metallic, so if you're wanting to make them more intense, I definitely recommend spraying them or using them with your finger. There's one shimmer here, which is a dupe for Lime Chrome from the Natasha Denona Gold palette, and I am obsessed with this shade, and it looks so beautiful all over the lid. It looks beautiful on the inner corner. There are some different nice neutral matte shades just to kind of ground the look. So if you don't want to go so intense, so crazy, all green, you definitely have some options. You've got a gold, you've got a copper. I really love that they included a pop of yellow. I feel like that just is so much fun for this palette and for this color scheme, and I love yellow and green together, and I haven't seen that a bunch in a lot of other palettes. They also have a super deep, rich matte green, and I really love this one because it holds true to its color. It stays green, but it also adds a ton of depth to whatever look you're adding it into, and overall I'm just really happy with this palette, with the color story, and with the performance. My tiny little my only cons would be, one, that the shimmers are more satiny, just because I love really intense metallic shades. But like I said, you can spray them. You could use a glitter glue and kind of build it up to your desired preference, or you can use your finger. And this shade definitely makes up for that because this one is so intense and beautiful. And then my other original con was that I felt like there wasn't a true inner corner highlighting shade in this palette, which for my personal preference is definitely a downside, because I love inner corner highlights, and I was like, I wish they would have gotten rid of one of these two lighter shades and included, or specifically this one probably, and included an inner corner, just a really nice highlight that will go with all these looks instead. And I do still wish that this shade was a shimmer, but it forced me to use this one as an inner corner highlight. It's what I have on my eyes today as an inner corner highlight, and it's really beautiful. It just kind of reflects as a soft, metallic, really bright lime green on the inner corner. So overall, I am a really big fan of this palette. I would probably give it an A-, and I feel like if you already have a ton of greens in your color, or in your color story, if you already have a ton of greens in your collection, you don't need this by any means. But if you are looking into this and you're wondering if it's good quality, I definitely think that it is. So I really like it. I also appreciate that it's smaller, it's very sleek, it has a decent sized mirror. So I definitely think that this is my favorite Morphe palette yet. I'm 100% satisfied with my decision to purchase it. So that's all my thoughts on the palette. Let's go ahead and jump on into the 3 looks that I filmed. Alright, so jumping right on into look 1, I'm going to go ahead and do a pretty neutral look today. I'm going to start off with this shade right here. I already went ahead and primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm just going to take that shade on a nice big fluffy brush and throw it through my crease as my transition shade. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take the next matte shade over, and I'm going to go ahead and pop that directly into my crease. And then just blend upwards. Just going to go back in with my previous brush and blend between the 2 shades. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this dark matte brown, and I'm going to pop that onto the outer V. It's pretty pigmented. And just lightly blending it. Alright, now I'm just going to go back again with my previous brush, just blending between the shades. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and start off with this red metallic shade, and I'm just going to use it on my finger, and I'm going to pop that onto the outer half of my lid. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the True Gold shade right here, again just popping that on my finger and I'm going to throw it onto the inner part of the lid. I really want to do a pop of color on the lower lash line, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take this matte right here, and I'm just going to pop that as close as I possibly can to the lower lash line. And then just going to kind of smudge it out a little bit. I'm also going to go ahead and take just a little touch of this green right here, just on that same brush. And I'm going to pop that onto the front of the lower lash line. I'm going to go ahead and take the Colourpop Horse and Carriage highlighter, which just looks like this, and I'm going to pop that onto my inner corner. Really quickly off camera, I'm going to go ahead and throw the Linda Habre Calm Mood pencil in my waterline, the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on my lashes, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and take that same Colourpop highlighter for my cheeks now. Just going to go ahead and throw it on and just blend it in. And then for lips today, I'm going to go ahead and take the Marc Jacobs Gloss Stick in the shade Sugar Sugar. Alright, so this is a finished first look with the palette, and I do really like how it turned out. I feel like it's such a nice, pretty, just soft, neutral look, but then that little pop of green. I really wanted to do a look like this with the palette just because there are, you know, just quite a few little pops of neutral in here, so I wanted to kind of explore that. We're definitely going to have a lot more fun with color the next 2 days, but I do like that you can go super soft, you can go super bold, or you can kind of do a middle and do like a little pop. If you're not super comfortable with a bright look, this is a great way to incorporate it. So let's go ahead and jump on into look number 2. Alright, so jumping right on into look 2, I really want to do a grungy green look today, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start off with this shade in my crease. I also already went ahead and primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Picked up a tiny little bit of that shade, and I'm going to go ahead and throw that in my crease as my transition, and I'm just going to start off with a little bit just to blend it upwards. Now that I have that original layer softened, I'm going to go ahead and go back in with some more of that shade right in my crease just to add a little bit more dimension. And then again, continuing to blend. I really love the color of this shade. Such a pretty green. I'm just going to go in with one more layer of that green on a really tiny little Morphe M506 because this just does a really great job at building the shadows up. And I'm just going to stick that right directly in my crease. I'm also just going to go ahead and take a touch of that shade on a little pencil brush and smudge it along my entire lower lash line. Alright, now I'm going to go back into that original fluffy brush that I used, and I'm just going to blend the edges all around. Pretty crazy that all of that was done with just one shadow. It really does just depend on your techniques and what brushes you use. You can do so much with just one shade. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take this deeper grungy green, and I'm going to use that same really tiny little Morphe M506, and I'm popping that onto my outer V. And then just going to blend and build it up to add some more dimension. Going back with my previous brush and blending. I'm also going to go ahead and take a little bit of that grungy green along the lower lash line, the second one. Just kind of buffing it in. Alright, so now for my lid, I really want to take this kind of metallic, antique, goldy green type shade. I think it's super pretty. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and wet it just to make it extra metallic. Ooh, that's pretty. I can feel the fallout falling on my face though. I'm just going to go ahead and take my tiny little fluffy brush from before and just lightly blend over the edge. And I'm going to pop a tiny bit of that metallic green on the front of the lower lash line right here. Alright, last but not least for my inner corner, I'm going to go ahead and take this shade right here. I'm just going to spray it a little bit, and I'm just going to pop that right there. That is so pretty. Alright, really quickly off camera, I'm going to go ahead and add the Colourpop liner in the shade Stomper. It's just a nice rich brown, and then the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I'll be right back. Alright, so for highlighter today, I'm going to go ahead and take Warm Lights from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. And then for lipstick today, I'm going to go ahead and take Milani Bahama Beige, which I was sent in PR. Just a really pretty, warm neutral. So this is the second look complete, and I really love how it turned out. I feel like it screams Melt Cosmetics Gemini vibes, so I really just adore the grungy greens. Obviously, I feel like I've talked about my love of grungy greens so many times, but I find them super affordable and really easy to blend with this palette. So now let's go ahead and jump on into look number 3. Alright, so jumping right on into look number 3, I felt like some of the shades in this palette kind of gave me Melt Cosmetics Smoke Sessions vibes, so I thought I would focus more on like these bluey green tones and then like this deep green here and just see where that takes me. So I already went ahead and primed my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer, and I think I'm going to start off with the nude shade in the palette, this one right here, just kind of kicking it old school, and I'm going to lightly set my crease with that just because I'm going to go in with a darker shade first, and I think this will make it a little bit easier to blend, but I'm not getting my lid. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this kind of bright greeny teal. I don't even know exactly how to describe that shade, but I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit, definitely dusting off the excess because it's super pigmented, and I'm going to start that through my crease. Like I said, that was barely going in with anything, so I'm definitely going to take my time to just blend it upwards. Get a good little transition going. Alright, so now that I've got a really good blend out of it, I'm going to go back in with more of that shade and just build that up in the crease. I'm also going to go ahead and take a little bit of that same shade on a small pencil brush and just pop that along like the outer half of the lower lash line. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take the deepest matte shade in the palette, and I'm going to pop that onto the outer V. Just adding in some depth. So that's blended for the most part, but I'm just going to go back in with my previous brush and just go over the edges. I'm also taking a touch of that deepest shade and popping it onto the outer third of the lower lash line. So whenever I did my first impression with this palette, I did all like super grungy shades on the lid, and then I did the pop of teal on the lower lash line. So I thought it'd be fun, since I have like the teal everywhere, to take one of the grungier shades, I think this one, and I'm gonna pop that onto the lower lash line and give it a little moment. I feel like it's just kind of an unexpected color in this look. Now for my lid, I'm going to go ahead and start off with this shade right here, which is a really subtle duochrome, and I'm just going to pop that on the outer outer half of the lid or so. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and take this kind of minty blue shimmer. One seems, as I'm picking it up with the brush, a little bit powdery, so I'm just going to go ahead and spray it. And I'm going to pop that onto the front of the lid, blending it into that deeper shimmer. Alright, so once I have that all built up, I'm just going to go back with my previous blending brush and just slightly blend the outer V and the shimmers and make sure there's no harsh edges. Alright, so for my inner corner today, I'm pretty sure I did this in the look for day 2, but I really liked the end result, so I'm going to go ahead and take this shade again, and I'm just going to take a very tiny little pencil brush, or not even a pencil brush, just a tiny little detail brush to pop that on the inner corner. Alright, so I went ahead and finished up my eyes by using the Ardency Inn Liner in the shade Jade in my waterline and the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So for highlighter today, I'm going to go ahead and take my Ofra times Samantha March at March Beauty Word highlighter, and I think I'm just going to mix both shades together. And then for lips, I'm going to keep it really simple and just use my Jouer lip gloss in the shade Diamond Walk. Alright, so this is the third and final look with the palette, and I love how it turned out. I feel like it's such a dramatic green eye look, but all the shadows performed beautifully. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave them down below for me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.